Titans on Fox Sports.
Thanks for joining us live at Brookvale Oval. Warren Smith, Greg Alexander and Scotty Sattler to take you through the action tonight between the Sea Eagles and the Titans. There is a full moon. Will the Wolfman be howling? Rex Mossop, the great Rex Mossop, of course, of Brookvale Identity, is here to watch the Sea Eagles go around tonight. And a big crowd in attendance as well as we try and work out who's playing whom in the finals in week 1 in 2009 in this Telstra Premiership. A part of the equation has been solved, of course, with Melbourne winning tonight. They will be in 4th place. This team will finish in 3rd place, Brandy.
Yeah, in the semi-finals, the Gold Coast Titans, they line up for tonight's match like this. Campbell, Gordon, Tagatese, Atkins and Mead, Rogers and Prince the halves, Scotty Prince the captain, co-captain, along with Luke Bailey, who's overcome a virus. He will be playing. Friend and White also up front. LaFranchi, Minicello and Harrison in the back row. Their interchange bench, Henderson, Matthews, O'Dwyer and Josh Graham.
Not too far away from hitting the field here at Brookvale Oval are the Titans. Let's take a look at the NRL ladder. As things stand, of course, after the Melbourne Storm defeated the Warriors 30 points to 0 just a few moments ago. The Gold Coast Titans, they will finish in 3rd spot no matter what happens here, win or lose. The Sea Eagles, though, the scenario for them is a simple one. If they win, they will play the Storm in Melbourne next week. Lose, they'll play the Titans again next week up there at Skilled Park.
Yeah, both tough assignments. The Melbourne Storm, after their victory over the Warriors, getting that home semi-final. Manly, they'll just want to put in some good form after last week's scratchy win over the Cronulla Sharks, a 12-man outfit.
You're not wrong there. Let's hear from the Gold Coast Titans coach, John Cartwright, first up, having a chat with Scott Sattler.
Well, Cardi, last 3 wins against sides that aren't playing finals football. Is tonight a good gauge?
I think so. I think a lot of people have asked we're going to rest players and we're going to do this and do that. But for us, it's a good test to see where we're at. Desperate Manly side, they need to win to have any chance at the top 4. So the higher you finish up the order, the better your chances are. So they're going to be desperate. So yeah, good test for us.
Is it a matter about worrying about what your guys can do rather than what Manly are going to throw you?
No, exactly right, mate. We're getting ready for a game next week. Things that went our way last night might have been a little bit different, but we're definitely not taking the game lightly. We want to go into the semi-finals with winning form.
Best luck tonight, pal.
Thanks, mate.
John Cartwright there talking to Scotty Sattler. He does it tough at times up in the coach's box. Which coach doesn't in the NRL? But boy, he can ride them home with the best of them, as well as he was doing in the second half last week against the Tigers.
Yeah, most coaches wear their hearts on their sleeves these days, Johnny Cartwright. It was a close one against the Tigers. A good final 10 minutes from the likes of Matt Rogers, Preston Campbell got them home. But it's another tough assignment here, the Manly Sea Eagles.
Yes, last week, narrow winners, 18-16 of Ben Farah trying the final moments of that game against the Sharks right here at Brookvale. Here's their back line tonight. Brett Stewart back for his 2nd game after missing 18 long weeks with a knee injury. Robertson, Farah, Matai and David Williams are there with Foran and Orford. Also, once again, the halves combination. Old Jamie Lyon waits to come back from a shoulder injury. The forward pack, no changes to the starting pack with Kite, Ballon and Perry, Watmo, Bailey and Stewart. Glenn Stewart, of course, also there. There is one change on the bench, and that is Jared Wairia Hargraves coming in for Adam Cuthbertson, who was the player omitted from Des Hasler's 17 here tonight against the Titans. Let's hear from the coach himself, once again, speaking with Scott Sattler.
Well, Desi got a good record against the Titans at Brookvale, but it's fair to say it's a different Titans side in 2009.
Yeah, they've been playing some outstanding football, the Titans. Deserving of their 3rd place. So it'll be a tough one tonight. They've got great scoring potential right across the park. So it'll be an entertaining game tonight, I think.
Is that the biggest priority, the amount of attacking options they've got across the park?
Yeah, that and not giving them any more ball than they deserve. And for the past month, it's been a real problem for us. Just not consistently hanging on to the ball long enough.
Well, good luck tonight, pal.
Thanks very much.
Desley Hazel right there. The Gold Coast Titans aren't mucking around there. Out there already, of course, Scotty Prince in dynamic form. If they're to win tonight, he will be a very big factor.
Well, he's a big factor for the Gold Coast Titans every week they play. I think they've done a good job this year and not relied on him so much. They've won some big games without Scott Prince this season, but they'll need him at his best coming into the semi-finals. Some of those little men for the Gold Coast have been in brilliant form.
Matty Orford playing game number 228 in the NRL. Looking to fire up. He said the team has been through so much in 2009 from before the season began, of course. And it's continued on throughout the season at various times. He said before coming into this game they did have a shot at the top 4. Well, that has been ruled out now, of course, with the Melbourne Storm beating the Warriors in the first of 3 games tonight on Super Saturday. Manly, they can finish 5th or they can finish 6th. Our referees tonight, Shane Hayne and Bernard Sutton, controlling things here at Brookvale Oval. Is it a preview of a final to come? Possibly, of course, as soon as next week, should they meet once again in week 1. Up there at Skilled Park, though, on the Gold Coast. We'll wait and find out. The Titans with the kickoff from Scotty Prince and goes down to be brought back by Brent Kite, of course. No Jason King tonight. More than likely next week for the Seagulls, and Brent Kite looking to ramp things up and find something like his best form after being below his best, self-admittedly, throughout 2009. Chris Bailey will play it here for Ballon. They go back to the middle of the park and they work it beyond the 30-metre line. A good run by Josh Perry. Carter defenders with him as well, and he plays it almost back at the 40 as a result. Watmo bouncing out of tackles, giving it back for Ballon, who turns it underneath for Chris Bailey, who patrols that middle of the field. Glenn Stewart to the right and Anthony Watmo, of course, to the left for the Seagulls. The kick, not a bad one. It will go down to Matty Rogers. Starting again at fullback, as he does at times, swapping with Preston Campbell. Getting collared right there as they bring it back to their 10 for David Mead to be hitting a very solid tackle.
Yeah, good opening set from the Eagles, and that's where they have struggled in recent weeks. They go forward. I think the message is pretty clear from Desi Hasler. They need to make the meters up the middle of the ruck before they go to the edges, and it's been a good set in defence too. Good chase on the kick.
4 plays gone already. Bailey playing it inside his own 20 as they work it forward through Matthew White. They'll be kicking from deep inside their own territory here, and set number 1 for the game. Prince, what a great kick off the side of the boot, it looked like. In fact, it cleared the head of Brett Stewart, who came across to make a catch and then just left the ball. I think he misjudged it.
Yeah, that was a strange one there. I don't know. I think the players lost sight of where the ball was, but Scotty Prince forced to put that one virtually straight up in the air because the Manly pressure was so good. Williams out of dummy half gets it inside the 40.
Playing it for Ballon, who just around about 3 months ago became a father for the first time. Young Fletcher. Here he is. Ball to the short side for Orford from Stewart. It came back there for Kieran Fuller and met, and a good tackle by Luke Bailey, who was shrugged off a virus to be fit to play tonight. The kick isn't a great one, not contested at all by Watmo and Perry, who may well have been offside. And as a result, in fact, they can't have been. Otherwise, they would have been inside the 10, but they decided not to leap up for it. And the Titans, well, we'll see how they do in this particular set. After struggling first time around off a good kick from Matt Ballon, this one not so good from Matt Orford. And now LaFranchi picked up. Chris Bailey was there, so was Ballon. They play it for Nathan Friend, who's had a tremendous season after fighting and scratching and clawing his way to a new contract with the Titans earlier this season. Minicello taking it up towards the 40. Plenty of starch about this Manly defence to begin this one. Friend again from dummy half. Prince under a little bit of pressure. Wasn't knocked to the ground, though. Better read on the ball this time. Well, the man they call the Snake, Brett Stewart, getting to it on the full and bringing it back. He was obviously well below his best last week, and he'll certainly be better for the run after coming back against the Sharks in round 25.
You would think so, and he kept himself out of the game a fair bit last week against the Sharks, but you can understand that. And you'd think he'd be better for the run. He'd want to involve himself as much as possible here tonight before we run into the semi-finals. Penalty to the Eagles.
Glenn Stewart fighting to play the ball at the halfway line, and it will bring Manly deep on the attack in this next set of 6. There's the play again. Nathan Friend just hanging a little bit too long for the referee's liking. And as a result, they work it forward through Brent Kite, who had Luke Bailey coming at him. He spun away from the contact there to be wrapped up by Nathan Friend. Perry bumps it towards the uprights. We'll play a 20 out from the Titans line. Ballon will go back to the right-hand side to give it to Foran. Flat pass there for Stewart. No ball playing this time from the lock forward. For Chris Bailey now, running at Luke Bailey. Met also there by Matthew White. He's only 5 metres out. A couple of plays left in this set. Ballon out the back. Goes to Morford. Grubbering, looking for Matai. Lost by Rogers. Towed forward. Anthony Watno with a hand on the ball. A number of things to check right here.
First, I'll check the onside for the first kick, but I want to check an offside just in here, mate.
There he's still going about the things he wants to check. You're right, there's a couple of things to check. The kick by Matt Orford. Matt Rogers looked like he had things covered up. The ball came loose. Was there a Manly player offside? Was there a knock on at all? Here's the kick from Orford. Manly players are onside. Rogers gets down on the ball. He can't clean it up. Matai looks like he got a foot to it there.
And Anthony Watmo's offside.
Brett Stewart touches it. He's standing in front of both players. Brett Stewart the last to kick the ball. Well, there's Matai. Whether Matai touches it or not, Watmo comes through. He misses it, but he's standing in the in-goal area as Brett Stewart comes through, gets his foot on the ball.
And there's no doubt that Watno was in front of Brett Stewart when he towed the ball forward. It'll come back to whether it's a knock-on against Matt Rogers or the ball was kicked out there by Steve Matai. I guess you could say he was kicking in danger to some extent there. Watmo ends up, well, he's in the in-goal area. There's the touch by Brett Stewart. No doubt that Anthony Watmo was a long, long way in front of him.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It's just that what do you do with the Matt Rogers drop ball? Well, it's gone behind you. So there's no knock-on from the Titans.
Anthony Watmo, I'm sure, now realises that it won't be a try.
Well, there's the knock on. Actually, I think the Rogers has dropped the ball directly down, and then the foot's put on it by Steve Matai. So I'm going to say Rogers knock on, Manly scrum.
Well, that will be the next best result for them. Anthony Watmo watching on. Doesn't look too hopeful suddenly. I think he realises what's about to come. And our video referee tonight, Steve Clark, will spin up the no try.
Scrum, Matt. Scrum for their knock on. Okay, so it's a scrum out here.
And they will say knock on
Scrum, guys.
against Matt Rogers, and the Seagulls will get 6 more tackles from the scrum.
Well, it's better than a repeat set. That is the next best thing. Rogers had trouble cleaning up the loose ball, and that was a minute knock on, but it was one before Matai got his foot to the ball.
Matty Orford waiting for the scrum to pack. They'll put a play on from the get-go here, perhaps for Stewart. Here it is, Glenn Stewart, in fact, charging up the line, stopped just by Atkins. Now Brett taking them on. They were never back to 10. They had to be at the line, the goal line, that is. They didn't get back there, and Shane Hayne pings the Titans as a result. They could take the 2 from right in front here. You'd imagine for a team looking to get something going, you keep it in your hands, but no, they will in fact say that'll do us. We'll take a 2-0 start.
Oh, I wonder if that is a sign of the lack of confidence that Manly have with their attacking game inside the opposition 20. That's an area where they've struggled. Inside the 20, they've struggled to get across the try line. Guaranteed 2 points, yes.
Didn't have a great day with the boot last week against the Sharks, but didn't hurt them in the end with Ben Farrow's try off the back of a penalty set that they had with about 90 seconds remaining, really, when he crossed the line to guarantee the win. Matt Orford puts the Seagulls in front here tonight. They lead the Gold Coast 2 points nil. Scotty Sattler, would you have gone for the 2 or looked for 6?
No, gone for the 6, I think was, but Desi Hasler, he's identified some deficiencies around the ruck to the Titans. If they have got a weakness, it is around the ruck, and so he's seeing a lot of plays in behind the markers so far in this first 6 or 7 minutes. I'm sure it's going to be an error. I don't think there's going to be a lot of ball out wide for the Manly Seagulls tonight.
Wait and see how tight they play it in the middle third of the field. They bring it back through Chris Bailey from the restart. They took the 2 from right in front. Remembering, of course, a win will guarantee them 5th place and a trip to Melbourne against the Storm, who are suddenly looking rather ominous in a couple of big wins in the final 2 weeks of the regular season. 30 points to 0 if you missed it at Mount Smart Stadium not that long ago, of course, in Auckland. Lose. They'll play the Titans again next week, man. Here's Ballard out of dummy half, kicking it down to Rogers, who gets there on the full. We'll bring it back at speed until he met the tackle there of Michael Robertson, was it, or Ben Farah coming up and making the stop. Good one it was as well. Friend from dummy half. Give it to Luke Bailey, running of Perry and also Watmo. We'll bring it back towards the 40-metre line. They do it the hard way from inside their own territory so far in this game, and here they are again, going sideways around the middle of the field. With Frankie back on the angle, there was no way past once again Perry or Watmo, who combined for 2 in a row. White gets it back to almost the halfway line. Last play, Friend, give it to Scotty Prince, who will kick it along the ground. Brett Stewart happy to watch it bounce by him. In fact, he waits a long time before he picks it up. He brings it back to be stopped there by Tagatese and also Minicello. Williams from dummy half with a full moon out tonight. A couple of howls ring out from the crowd here at Brookvale as well. Here's Matton, who has struggled in recent times. Didn't look too good at times in that game against the Sharks last week with these recurrent neck and shoulder problems he has.
He has battled with them, it seems like, for the last couple of years, Steve Matai. They'll be hoping they can keep him off the field. It's a high one. Minicello just hung the arm out as Glenn Stewart stepped inside him.
It was just a soft one, wasn't it? Hanging it out there, and he just got him around the chin. No more than a penalty. Makes it 3-0 as far as the penalties go to Manly to begin the game, and it will bring them deep on the attack once again here. They've spent a bit of time already in the game. We'll wait and see what they can produce off the back of this next set. Not a great kick for the line there.
That must have been his kick.
Barely made 5 metres for them. Here is the man who was collared, Glenn Stewart playing. Josh Perry works it inside the 30 of the Titans. Stopped eventually there by LaFranchi. And also White flapping around looking for a penalty. Didn't get the whistle from either of the referees. Watmo taking it forward. Is he a factor in the Dally M's on Tuesday night? Anthony Watmo, what a great second half of the season he's had. We're of course all trying to track down Jonathan Thurston, who led by 5 with 10 rounds remaining. We'll find out live on Fox Sports on Tuesday. Here's Orford at the back. The ball from Foran to ground. Picked up by Williams. Juggled initially. Runs away from Tagatese, gets almost away there from Nathan Friend, who makes a good tackle 20 metres out. It was touched though by the Gold Coast when it went to ground, and this will be play number 1 for Manly. Plenty of possessions inside the Titans 20 to start this game. Matton gives it to Perry, who runs at Friend. They'll stop him. Then coming in, Atkins got a hand to it. They will say knocked on, and a penalty.
You've touched the ball
To the Titans for his offside there.
He's deliberately hit the ball in offside
Against
position.
the Sea Eagles.
Well, after starting the game so good, Josh Perry and also Brent Kite charging into the fence and scattering a few of the Gold Coast defenders. Their last few charges, really, they've been gang tackled. They're running sideways. They're not getting back and getting a good start before they get the ball. And that one from Josh Perry, really, the pass wasn't on. He thought about it, tucked it away, but then went again, and it's cost Manly a good opportunity.
Their first error of the game coming after 11 minutes. They've had double the possession, as we saw in our graphic. 9 sets of 6 to 4 to the Gold Coast Titans, who bring it into Manly territory for the first time really in the game. Here is Prince giving it to Harrison. He was under pressure from Anthony Watmo, who was up in his face and forcing the mistake to give it straight back to the Sea Eagles.
It was well read, Watmo. You could see Harrison going to cut back on the inside. Dropped off Prince immediately. Doesn't get those wrong, Scotty Prince. Normally, he's got the ability to know if the defender is going to drop off and continues on his run. That time, Watmough just read it so well.
He was up out of the line, as was his wont. On that occasion, it paid off for him. Ballon taking it back into Gold Coast territory. They've been here plenty of times already. We've only had 12 minutes. Still looking for their first try tonight, the Seagulls. Brent Kite will play it for Ballon. It comes away to Warford. He goes past Watmough to give it to Maddie in a one-on-one contest there with Jordan Atkins. And Atkins was able to wrap him up. Robertson, who spent so much of this season in the #1 jumper, back familiar territory in the #2. Ballon goes to Warford, who puts it high in the air. Some pressure here on Kevin Gordon. Rogers is also there. It hits the deck. Foran picked it up. He got to the line. I don't know, though, that he got the ball down.
Parky, tackle 5. Just check for a knock-on grounding.
Well, once again, a few things to look at. And the replays we'll see over the next 30 seconds or a minute or so. Kieran Foran, bit of a nod of the head. He thinks he might have got there.
Well, the kick from Matt Orford. Again, I think it was a little bit off the side of his foot. Not exactly where he wanted it placed, but it ended up all right. There's plenty of Manly bodies around the ball. That's Farah's hands. Well, I think that's a knock on, isn't it? Has it gone backwards?
You would like to see it from side on. And Foran hits the ground. Well, you'd have to say that he got the ball to the ground for the first attempt. Tagatese was quickly there to hold him up. I think it comes back to the knock on or knock back, as the case may be. It certainly finishes up behind Ben Farah.
Well, he is moving forward,
That's
which makes
true.
it look like it's gone backwards. I've got no doubt. There's Foran. He's got the ball on the ground. It's whether they decide knock on or knock back from Ben Farah. I'm happy enough to give that. I think the motion of his hands was pushing the ball backwards, even though he's gone forward.
And Steve Clark agrees with you. It took a bit of getting there, but a final try for Manly after 13 minutes makes it 6 points to 0. Kieran Foran coming up with the crumbs off the contest between Rogers and Farah. Brett Stewart was herring through, as always. David Williams also there, making sure Kevin Gordon didn't contest the ball. And Tagatese, doing his best, wasn't able to hold up the young 5'8", who scores their first of the night.
Yeah, I think this is the only angle where it looks dubious whether it's a knock on or knock back. But I was happy once we saw it again from behind the play that the ball did go back. Kieran Foran able to clean it up and did a good job in the end to get the ball down as he was twisted onto his back. Still kept the ball tucked in within his arms, within his grasp, to get it into the in-goal area. They needed it, Manly. They have dominated 9 from 10 sets.
Now Matty Orford on the junction of the 20 and 10 in from the sideline, straight between the uprights to make it 8 points to 0 downstairs to Scotty Sadler.
Yeah, well, guys, it's been built on the back of some really great defence, hasn't it? Defensively, they haven't been the same compared to last year, the Manly Seagulls, but tonight they really had to aim up. The way they were going to had to beat this Titans side, that to get up in their face with a fast-moving defensive line, and they've done that. Watmough was testament to that in that last set of 6 before they scored that try.
He was the factor, of course, that got them possession, putting the pressure on the Titans defensively. They worked it down the field. The first 4-pointer of the evening. Here's Chris Bailey. Going off the back of Brent Kite's return from the restart. They get down the short side. Brent Stewart and Ben Farah there with him. Sam Tagatese, who received many of raps of his coach, John Cartwright, after the win against the Tigers last week. Described him as a real weapon. Sam certainly can motor. He's spent some time in the back row in seasons past with the Melbourne Storm. And a chance late in the season with the Titans, playing out wide. Perry playing it for Orford, kicking from 40 metres out from the Titans line. A good one as well. David Mead, the speedster, will go back to pick it up. And the kicking game, their long kicking game, has been good so far tonight. A knock-on, was it? From David Mead, Watmough and Matt, I certainly thought so. Manly perspective, and there was a knock-on. No doubt about that one by Matt Rogers, and the Titans, it's got to be said so far, are right off their game with the ball.
Yeah, gee, if you thought they got off the hook there with the first knock-on, Matt Rogers made up for it by dropping it there, going down the short side. Robertson was there to meet him. Got a touch on the arm, that dislodged the ball, and Manly will get another set. A flat start by the Gold Coast team, who have been better away from home this year. They've had some wins. I think they've had 5 wins away from home, and some of those good wins too. Melbourne.
Here's Brett Stewart out the back for Williams for the tie-up. The Wolfman is howling again tonight. I'm going to check the corner post. Don't worry about it, boys. It's all okay. The Wolfman, the howl, will tell you all you need to know. A nice play off the back of the scrum win involving Brett Stewart. He gets the ball down. Forget the corner post. He was in comfortably.
Nice backline move from that scrum. Gold Coast mistakes. The drop ball from Rogers has come back to haunt them. The Wolfman crosses for try number 10, double figures for the season.
Well, early days still in this game. Doesn't look good for the Titans the way they've started. They've been poor, working it away from their own end, and they've cracked here with Brett Stewart, as he always does, on a long right-hand side, just joining in to make the extra numbers. 4 and going to the line, attracting a couple. And with Stewart's speed on the outside to Williams, they weren't going to catch him after giving him a start. And the beard may be gone, but the howl remains when he crosses the stripe.
Yeah, just enough speed from Brett Stewart, wasn't it, to get on the outside of Kevin Gordon, who was playing inside Matt Rogers. The fact that he got on the outside of Gordon meant that Rogers had to come in and try and assist. That created the overlap and gave David Williams just enough space to get down that touchline.
Matty Orford, a good strike first up, not that long ago, off the back of Kieran Foran's try. This one, though, up against the sideline. Gets it out to the right-hand side. It will stay at 12 points to 0. They've got the bids out, perhaps in honour of the Wolfman, Scotty Sattler, and it is a full moon tonight.
Well, the last time we did a game here with the full moon, he had an absolute field day. But again, I think Sam Tagatisi down that left-hand side is always going to get a fair bit of attraction. He's not a regular centre, so I think it's going to be something he's going to get used to seeing tonight. Brett Stewart attacking him.
I think you're right. The Tigers had some success at times against Tagatisi last week. We'll wait and see what happens in the remainder of this first half, especially. Georgie Rose is out there, fresh off his marvellous success in the props pentathlon and NRL on Fox on a Wednesday night. Absolutely slayed them. Did Big George. Fast run from Watmo, even faster. Play the ball for Stewarts. Getting a scent, isn't he? Getting into dummy half, bringing it back to the halfway line. Watmo again, linking up with 4 and all. He got rattled by Jordan Atkins. A solid shot to his credit. He bounced back to his feet to play it just as quickly. Here is Rogers again, under the high ball. Looking to get to ground and make no mistake this time after it was his error, which gave Manly possession and the scrum feed to score off. 12 points to 0. 18 gone here at Brookvale. So Manly at the moment on track for a grand final rematch in week 1 of the finals against the Melbourne Storm. Oh, they've done it again.
Kevin Gordon this time. I don't know if there was a hand or a leg there from George Rose. There did seem to be some interference as he tried to get up and play the ball. He was absolutely crunched by Big George Rose as he fights and struggles to get up and play the ball. Well, he's just lost it.
Here they come again. A bonus set for Manly, and how many have they had so far in this game? They've completed 12 out of 13. Oh, boy, talk about the curse. make it 12 out of 14. George couldn't hang on to it. 12 of 14, though. Compare that to the Titans. 3 completed sets from 7 possessions.
Look who was out of the line too, Nathan Friend. He makes a habit of picking out the biggest man in the opposition and just staying on them all night. The pressure from Friend forced the drop ball. Well, the Titans, they've just got to get up the other end of the football field.
They've got to muscle up right here in the forwards. They've got to show something that they can match it with these Manly forwards, because they have barely had the ball in their hands on the other side of the halfway line. And we've had half of the first half. Here's Matt White taking it to the mid-stripe. He'll play it for Friend. Shows it a couple of times before giving it to LaFranchi, who's easily picked off once again. Back on that angle towards the play of the ball. We've seen that a number of times already. They've picked up very few metres from that particular play. The kick from Scotty Prince will roll dead. Manly will bring it back to the 20.
Well, it looked good at the 10-metre line, but it just kept rolling. Scotty Prince looking to get a result, but it'll give Manly a quick tap, and here they come again. Watmo and Matai down his left-hand side.
Matai stepping away from Preston Campbell's attempted tackle. And as a result, he played it almost back at the 40-metre line on play 1. Watmo heavily involved as ever. Preston Campbell has been left on the ground there after being involved in the tackle on Anthony Watmo. As game as they come, though, he's back on his feet. Now Ballard. He gives it to Kite. Minicello came up and he left a hole for Kite. Dragged down from behind by Nathan Friend. He'll play it 20 metres out. Manly surging. Looking for a big lead here. Rogers, a high tackle on Kieran Foran.
Just a high tackle, mate.
That's all it was, just a high one, Matt Rogers. It was a wrapping tackle. Foran through the dummy, tried to slide through. Rogers just contact up around the neck.
Well, they'll tap it here through Ben Farah, 10 metres out. Looking to make it 16 points to 0. In the context of this game, a massive set of 6 right here for the Titans. Here's Ballard going, floating to Warford. He gives it to Watmo. Campbell is up. Watmo bats the ball backwards. Rogers got to it and touched it. It'll be 6 ball for Manly. Brett Stewart has it. Friend dragged him down again. Here's Ballard. The Gold Coast under enormous pressure. Bailey will play it a couple of metres out. Ballon at dummy half, giving it to Warford. He goes out the back, long ball. Glenn Stewart for Ben Farah. It's a repeat of last week. The man who won the game against the Sharks gets across the line, and it's 16 points to 0 to Manly.
Well, nothing going right for the Gold Coast team. The drop ball or the pushback from Anthony Watmo couldn't be cleaned up by Matty Rogers. Here's Brent Kite, throws the dummy. Minicello stays out on Bailey. Bailey, the man. From there, 6 to go after Rogers touched the ball. That's a great pass from Glenn Stewart. As you said, was very similar to last week. The winning try, Ben Farah scored it in just about exactly the same spot. Terrific ball, Glenn Stewart. Catch, flick over the top of his shoulders there, all in one motion.
And he's been a pickup, hasn't he, for the Seagulls after coming from the North Queensland Cowboys. Game number 12 in Manly colours. And now Warford again up against the sideline. His previous strike wasn't so good from the same position. See if they can adjust right here. No, he can't. Hooking back a little bit, but nowhere near enough. It stays at 16 points to 0. It's a long way back now for the Gold Coast, Scotty.
Yeah, it is. Great try there by Farah. He's been a good trade, hasn't he, for Michael Barney, as you said. But once again, the momentum was created through the ruck by Brent Kite. The Titans, you know, they're on their heels at the moment. And again, down Sam Tagatisi's left-hand side.
Here's the kickoff, not a deep one. Taken on the full by Glenn Stewart, who threw that nice ball. Oh, George puts it down on a shift from play 1. And it gives the Titans their best possession and position so far in this game. They take it forward through Harrison. They've completed so far just 4 sets of 6 to Gold Coast. Manly have completed 15. 4 times as many sets. Here's Minicello. That is a stunning stat. He'll play it eventually. And it comes to Luke Bailey. Foran did well. He got some help eventually there from Anthony Watno. It came to hold up Luke Bailey, who struggles in the tackle. Watno will be penalised.
Wait, Luke,
Had to be penalised.
no. You're letting go, mate. Wait, Nathan, wait.
He didn't want Bailey to play the ball quickly and put them under pressure. He just went a wrestle too far. A quick tap. And Campbell gives it on to Scotty Prince. A staccato movement across the back line. Boy, what's happened to the Gold Coast Titans, a team looking for just, in the second time in their history, 5 consecutive wins.
Well, off a tap, 6 tackles. Matt Rogers goes for the miracle pass. Their first time down this end of the field. Anthony Watmo gifted them another set of 6, and they toss it away on tackle 1.
They never looked as though they were singing from the same sheet in that movement to the left-hand side, did they? It was stop, start, go again in the end. The pass went sailing across the sideline. Matai, another good run. No dramas this time with the hands of George Rose, who bumps it back to almost the halfway line. Chris Bailey finds Brent Cott, who had nowhere to go. They moved up quickly in the middle of the field. Michael Henderson is out there for John Cartwright and the Titans. Luke Bailey still on the field for the moment. As Manly go to the right-hand side. Prince making a tackle there on Ben Farrar. Scotty Prince hanging on to the very last second, I'm sure, for the referees. The patience tested perhaps once again there as the kick goes down to Matty Rogers. He brings it back out with Kieran Foran leading the charge. Made a good stop on him. And again, they played on the first inside their own 10, and that has been a common theme here tonight.
Yeah, the kicking of Matt Orford and Matt Ballin out of dummy half been very good. That's a big shot there. Was that Kieran Foran?
Of course it was.
Wow.
And a sloppy play, the ball from Mark Minicello has given it straight back to Manly again.
Well done, mate. Go. Yep.
He's too good for the under-20s. Kieran Foran.
He shouldn't be allowed to play.
He belongs up here.
Yes, he does. Can he stay, though, of course, with Jamie Lyon? Well, who knows how soon he will be back. It looks as though at this stage he will miss next week. They played their cards pretty close to their chest, don't they? And Narrabeen headquarters, the Sea Eagles, and Desi Hasler doesn't give too much away. If line isn't right, well, boy, this kid is up to finals football in spades, isn't he?
No doubt about it.
Here's Manon. They'll play it. Midfield, just outside the 20. Watno catching them out at marker, going, running at Campbell. Stopped eventually by Nathan Friend. How many times do you say that? Friend with a try-saver. Good pass to Warford. Back on the inside for Matai. 2 Fens, the second on Henderson. He'll play it 5 metres out from the uprights. Ballin waits a dummy half. He gives it to Glenn Stewart. Out the back for Kieran Foran. Good ball for Farrar. Better tackle, though, by Sam Tagatese.
Well read, Tagatese.
Here's Foran. Going to Kite, spinning in the tackle, looking to get the arm free. He was up there with it perched for a moment until LaFranchi came in to wrap him up. Orford's grubber. Plenty of pressure once again on Matty Rogers, who has no choice but to bat it dead. And they'll get 6 more tackles, and they have just dominated possession. And they've spent so much of the game Manly at this end of the field.
Yeah, another clever kick there by Matt Orford off the outside of his foot. Anthony Watmo, who has made a real habit of being on the back end of the short kicks by Matty Orford over the last couple of months there on the chase. Gee, Anthony Watmo, we've done a pretty good job to control him so far, but if you don't hit him square on, you're not tackling him. You're not getting him down.
You better be ready at marker because he works from dummy half as well as anybody in the competition. Or off a fast play the ball as well. He comes back on the angle, usually from the left-hand side, and tests the markers out. Caught them out badly in a previous set of 6. Here's Ballon again. Showing it. Heath Strange-like for a moment there, giving it to Glenn Stewart. He flips it out the back for Ballon. He comes to Warford. A quick ball to Watmo. Maddai. Good hands to Robertson. They come sliding across, and they get there in numbers, the Titans. Stop Robertson about 5 metres out from the line. Warford showing plenty of shows of the ball tonight. The pass was forward. It was a delayed call as Orford dropped off on the ball for Chris Bailey. May have been one of those ones which took an optical illusion for the touch judge, although that one did look a long way forward.
Yeah, it did. Sometimes when the ball player drifts backwards after he lets go of the ball, it can give the appearance that it's gone forward, but you're right. Gee, look at the possession, 72% to Manly. That's why they've got a 16-0 scoreline. The Titans will be desperate to get to their 5th tackle on this set. They haven't done that many times either. 5 from 11. Big defence again by Manly.
If they can hang on here, the Titans, and somehow jag a try before half-time, they'll be doing handstands in the dressing room. If they can keep Manly within 10 or 12 at the break. But they'll need to show a lot more than they have so far in this game to get to that position. Play it. They'll go to the left-hand side for Prince to kick it. Down the narrow side, again over the head of Brett Stewart. This one he will have to play at. He picks it up just inside the corner post. Coming down the field, Luke O'Dwyer is there to make the tackle on him. We'll see what sort of pressure they can apply to the Seagulls here to work it away for one of the few times in the game from inside their own 20. Williams taking it beyond that point. Good run by the winger. Stopped there by Tagatese. Farrell will follow suit. He picks up 8 or 10 himself. And just like that, they're not too far away from their own 40-metre line. Chris Bailey giving it to Warford. Here's Maddai. Watmo on his outside. Got away from Preston. Or ankle taps by Presto. He plays it quickly. Could have been pinged for moving off the mark. Anthony Watmo will need to be careful. And the kick goes down to Rogers, who's still back there at full-back at the moment.
Well, that ankle tap from Preston Campbell needed to be made because he gets on the outside of him, Anthony Watmo, and then it's a 2-on-1. Coming down here, this left-hand side. Good shift from Manly. Mead halfway through the Manly tackle.
He plays it to Frank. He goes again. Back on the angle is LaFranchi. They've used that play religiously midway through a set from their own end of the field. Now Prince to Harrison. Dropping back underneath his captain, co-captain at that, of course, Scotty Prince, along with Luke Bailey. And the kick for Rogers. An afterthought that he was going to get the ball. His kick, he wants it to sit up. It won't go. Williams, all the patience in the world to watch it go dead. They bring it back out to the 20 for the optional restart once again. 33 gone. It's Manly 16. The Titans blocked. Now Williams again, another 10 metres. Getting back to the form, of course, he was showing at the back end of 2008 is the Wolfman. The troubles of mid-season, the Origin series, of course, seem to have gone for the moment. He's back in a bit of form. As you said, he was a World Cup winner last season. Here they are, bouncing out of tackles, taking it down the middle of the field is Josh Perry. Good run from the big fella. Orford now to the line, giving it off for Foran, who took them on. Stopped there by O'Dwyer. Now Warford chipping back towards the middle, looking for Brett Stewart, who came down with it. We are going to check though the contest.
Happy with the grounding, just check the onside.
He got down to the turf okay, and like Billy Slater, he times the run so beautifully on these reverses back to the middle of the field.
Well, I know he times them perfectly. I'm just wondering Anthony Watmo, who was on the chase too. I think he was okay, Watmo. Stewart another yard behind him. We've missed that. We've missed that. Brett Stewart scoring a try for Matt Orford kick. The post wanted to deny him. The Gold Coast were trying their best.
We'll see the green lights here. And Brett Stewart edging ever closer. Try number 100 in his amazing career so far. He scored 6 tries now in 4 games against the Gold Coast Titans and 37 4-pointers in his last 37 games.
Well, it was the shift and the bust by Perry down the left-hand side. It doesn't matter which side of the field Manly want to go to, they're finding room. Watmo, who in the absence of Brett Stewart has been the man to chase the Orford kicks, but Stewart there timed it perfectly off the bump pad. It's like a training run. Pirouettes and gets the ball over the line.
And now from just about right in front again, Matty Orford adds the extra 2. And this, given the form of these two teams in recent times, is an amazing scoreline. 22 points to 0. Scotty Sattler, can you believe your eyes?
Yeah, I can't. After that performance last week against the 12-man Cronulla side, it really is an eye-opener leading into the finals. But it's a trademark play. It's a good combination, isn't it? The Stewart and the Orford combination. But I agree with you, Brandy. If Manly went in 16-0, I'd be happy to was John Cartwright, because the Titans are a side that can put 14 to 20 on a side in the space of 15 minutes. But I think this is going to be a little bit too big of an ask.
Here's Anthony Watmo. Looking energetic. Had Scott Prince, it seemed, offside there. No call by the officials. We've got 4.5 remaining in this first half. They're showing every sign that they are determined to march their way down the field and add to this scoreline before the break. Ballard giving it to Orford, turning it back on the inside for Glenn Hall, who is playing his last game at Brookvale Oval, of course. He's been a terrific asset for them over the past couple of seasons. A premiership winner in 2008, Farah taking it back inside the Titans 40. Last play here for the Seagulls. Orford will kick it off the outside of the boot, played off the legs there of Kevin Gordon. He's only touched the ball so far in this situation, bringing it back from kicks at his own end of the field, and really that's about as good a field position as they've had off a Manly kick in the game.
Remarkable when you have a look at the possession in this game. What are we, just over 3 minutes shy of the halftime bell. I can't remember having a side being 70% of possession this late in the first half going to one side. I can't remember such a lopsided possession rate ever. Wally, who's done many more games than me, our stats man, he's shaking his
I
head
wouldn't say that. He's been to a few, though. Here is O'Dwyer playing it for the Gold Coast Titans. 70%, you're right, though, is absolutely a ridiculous amount of possession. The Gold Coast only have themselves to blame how much ball they have coughed up at their own end of the field. Here's Friend as they work it down the middle. Here's another mistake. Stripped out, though, they say this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Got it right too, Shane Hayne. Genuine attempt. I don't know whether it was that man, Bailey, or Glenn Hole, who was also involved in the tackle. But there was definitely a Manly hand in there. The Gold Coast, they need it. They need a try now.
And then some. Rogers taking it to the line, heading towards Matty Orford. Trying to have come here tonight looking to target Orford defensively, but just had no ball to put anything on. LaFranchi has been well contained so far in the game. Friend, a ball out the back on the reverse. It'll switch back to Nathan Friend. He was grabbed there by Glenn Stewart, who knocked him to the ground several times. It had to be another penalty. And a brace of them in quick succession will bring the official warning.
3 quick penalties, short space of time, all in the ruck. Hold down, strip, another one here, all second efforts. Don't slow it down here. All right? Tell them. Wait there, wait.
As the Titans, back-to-back penalties. Work it forward through LaFranchi. A couple of metres out when he plays it here for Friend. A little play once again for Harrison this time. Numbers in the tackle, they're reading it well at the moment, the Seagulls. Friend waits again. Another one, showing it one way, coming back the other. Oh, they've coughed that up again. The Gold Coast Titans Somebody give them a fork to stick in the ball when they have it in their hands, please.
Well, when you're this far behind, you try and push things. The move went wrong at the start. Someone should have just tucked it under their arms and gone on to the next play, but they tried to create something when the ball was fiddling around for it.
Oh, testing them down the middle, stopped only just though by O'Dwyer. Fast play the ball, they spread it immediately. Orford kicking for Robertson, looking for a gap with just on 60 seconds remaining in this first half. Rogers picks it up, he gives it to Jordan Atkins. We'll wait and see if they can hang on to it here as they work it away from inside their own 20. Manly 21 of 25 set so far in the game. The Gold Coast 10 of 17. Here's Friend as they look to spread it inside their own territory. Preston Campbell's ball goes to ground. Tagatese under pressure. Farah for a moment there had visions of coming up with it, but Tagatese only just leading to the ball. Kevin Gordon stepping away from inside his own 30. They are praying for the halftime siren to sound. Here's Harrison looking to tip it on. Couldn't do so in the tackle there of Watmo. Friend gets back to dummy half on. Boy, I don't know who wants to kick it. Eventually, Prince takes it back inside the 40. Looks for a 40-20. But Stewart comes across. And with barely seconds remaining, he'll saunter forward, take the tackle. And he'll just about do us for the first half here tonight. He'll sneak to play the ball in. Robertson casts it forward. And that'll do us. It has been literally all Manly in the first 40 minutes. Helped in no small way by the Gold Coast Titans in taking it 22 points to nil. The Seagulls have done plenty of that, haven't they, so far in this game at Brookvale Oval tonight. They lead the Titans 22 points to nil. Had the Titans won here, there's every chance it was going to be the Gold Coast versus Manly in week 1 of the finals. At the moment, the Gold Coast Titans on track to be going back to the Gold Coast, their tail between their legs. A likely matchup against Big Brother in week 1. They're suddenly in form again, Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, they are. 4 wins in a row, Brisbane, after their mid-season slump. They've got the Raiders tomorrow night. Sunday night football, last round, up there at Suncorp Stadium. Scotty Prince, I'm sure, had plenty of things to say at half-time. A mistake-ridden first half.
As poor as they've played in 2009, it was. And for the 3rd time in their last 10 games, in fact, the Titans trail by 22 points at half-time. They went down 34-28. Almost pulled out of the fire against the Raiders in Canberra back in round 17. They trailed by 22 also to the Cowboys back in round 21. They, of course, went on to lose both those games, and they are long odds on to make it 3 from 3 when they trail by 22 at the break. Anthony Watmo, we were talking about him before our break. 11 hit-ups, 1 line break and 2 offloads. On track for perhaps 3 Dally M points here tonight. And given the counts we've had of the Dally M's in recent times, it wouldn't be a surprise to see it go right down to the wire between the likes of Watmo, Thurston, and of course, Jared Hayne.
Jamie Soward might have something to say about it too.
He might well do. Another big game for the Dragons last night as they turned it around in a hurry, and the Titans will have to turn things around here in a hurry to get themselves back in this game against the Seagulls tonight. David Mead working it away from inside their own 20. They completed just 11 of 18 sets in that first half. Play it here through Will Matthews. Now Harrison taking it up towards the halfway line. So far, so good in a performance so far riddled by mistakes. Harrison, I'm going to say, believes he was hit rather high in a tackle here. There was certainly a real contact we heard through our microphones. Let's take a look at this one again as he brings it forward.
No, that's all right. Contact then, no problem. Kieran Foran.
He can't hit. He might have just got him around the side of the jaw, perhaps, with the shoulder. It was a knee injury, maybe.
What's a knee?
That's the issue. Doesn't look to be too much wrong with the contact up around the shoulders. Time blown back on. We'll wait and see how Ashley Harrison is. A strange one, that one.
Of course, spent 6 weeks off the field after Origin with the shoulder, rib problems, but still hobbling around.
Here's Brett Stewart. He gets the cheers of the Manly fans. Well, Ashley Harrison is going to come straight from the field. Well, their woes continue to deepen here at Brookvale tonight on the scoreboard, and also perhaps the injury count. Harrison coming from the field looking very properly indeed. Scotty Sattler, that's the last thing they needed. And that man certainly, John Cartwright watching on in pain, I'm going to suggest.
Yeah, exactly. I'll find out what's going on there very soon. But from both camps, John Cartwright, he was happy with their intensity, just really disappointed with their attention to detail. His biggest message was coming off at the end of the game. He just wants them to make sure that they come off the field in a positive frame of mind, getting ready for that home final next week. Desi Hasler, feels great about the enthusiasm, the line speed. Just continue the line speed in defence, get in their face, because that's what's got us where we are right now.
Well, they are working it away from their own ends. Once again, the Gold Coast Titans. There is Matt Rogers with some ice on the right hamstring. We're talking about their mounting injury toll. Rogers and Harrison, both casualties at this stage of the game. We've still got the best part of a half to go.
Gee, that's another good hit. Kieran Foran out of the line there on Minichella. Won the battle over the back rower.
Henderson didn't have a great stint off the bench in the first half with his hands. Back to Campbell this time, who was going to kick. Takes it to the line, gives it away to Atkins, who keeps it alive. Touch there by Orford. Back though to Brett Stewart, who picks it up. Look out, away goes the snake. David Mead picks him up though. Boy, he's a flyer, Mead.
What about David Mead from nowhere? Brett Stewart, good to see him in open spaces, but
Orford, a little step off the right foot, a head fake. They weren't falling for it. Tackled by O'Dwyer. Ballin though, going quickly, giving it to Stewart, who was stopped there by Henderson. Only a metre out. They go from dummy half, diving underneath them. They won't be able to make it there. And they'll play it through Farah. Here's Orford, double pump. Intended for Foran. Goes to ground. He picks it up and takes them on. And in the end, Atkins had his hands full, bringing him down a few metres out from the line. Goes to Watmo. He gives it back to Warford. He says, I'll put it across the field. A chance for the Wolfman, a chance for Farah to do it once again. Did Farah get a touch? No, he didn't. Kevin Gordon did, though, and he knocked it on.
well, that was the kick from Preston, who decided to run it on the 5th tackle. Stewart gets in the clear. Mead. Farah's touched that. Well, he's knocked it back, and then it's a knock on Kevin Gordon. Again, having trouble with their hands at the wrong end of the field, the Gold Coast Titans.
Didn't David Mead, I know Brett Stewart coming back from injury, still wouldn't be 100% fit or 100% fast, if you like, but David Mead, we know he's quick, but that was graphic. Glenn Stewart playing it. Goes away to Perry, who runs Nathan Friend. Will play it 5 metres out from the line. Goes from Ballin, a quick ball crashing across the line. They've scored. They'll get there to see Eagles. Glenn Hall adds to his try tally here at Brookvale. And with 4 minutes gone in the second half, it's 26-0.
Again, off a mistake by the Gold Coast team. Good quick play the ball from Perry. Nice service from Matt Ballin. And Glenn Hall just took them on. Just straightened things up in between 2 defenders and was big enough to drag them across. LaFranchi, one of them, on the outside.
And again, the possession coming off the back of an error by the Gold Coast Titans. I have no idea what that means. Any clue on that one? A try celebration from Glenn Hall. He might be, it is springtime. He might be a tulip.
A tulip he ain't.
Now Matty Orford from beside the uprights. He might be a horticulture fan. 28-0 it is. Boy, you could not predict this scoreline coming here tonight. Sure, you could see a Sea-Eagles victory. You could see a Titans victory also. But wow, none of the girls banked on doing as much dancing as they've done so far in this game. And it's a big crowd watching on as well. They'll be loving this. They would have been coming here, fingers crossed, that they'd have turned up to hear that the Warriors had beaten the Melbourne Storm and that a home final and fourth place was on the line. But Melbourne took that out of the equation, didn't they? Absolute thrashing of the Warriors to round out what has been a terrible season for the Kiwi-based outfit. 30 points to 0. And Melbourne will be hosting Manly in week 1 of the finals next week. Here's Watno again. Big meters from dummy half. He's still going. Almost 20 right there. He led the meters for them last week. He might do so again here tonight. Here's Stewart shrugging away from the tackle by O'Dwyer. Showing it out the back. He's still going also. And they have just been outplayed by a long, long way, this Titans forward pack tonight. Last block, Orford, Bradbury, and behind Gordon. Pressure on Preston! Shane Haynes says it was knocked on by perhaps the Wolfman David Williams.
Yeah, in goal. Nice kick by Matt Orford again.
Anthony, we've got it.
Preston Campbell caught in a difficult position whether to go for the ball. Preston cleans this up. He gets taken out. Well, Wolfman was all over him. I don't know if he got a hand to it or it was off his leg.
There's Michael Henderson playing. Go downstairs to Scotty Sattler, who has a report on the injured Titans, Scott.
Well, two important players. Ashley Harrison's just got a cork just above his knee. He's just gone off to get it checked. He definitely will come back if needed. Matty Rogers felt a twinge in his hamstring at the back end of that first half, and they've just brought him off precautionary, get him ready for next week.
They'll need him fully fit. As the Titans come up with it still through Scotty Prince for a whistle there for a strip call, but none coming. If it was, it will be 0 tackle. Definitely touched by the Sea-Eagles. Josh Graham is out there now. You might see plenty of game time in the second half with both Rogers and Harrison out of the equation, it would seem. Well, Frankie will play it. Friend to give it to Scotty Prince to put a step on, but Matt Ballon was able to close the gate in the middle of the field. Now Campbell to Minicello. Well tackled by Bailey, losing the ball. No call by the referees, and Foran comes away with it for Mann. How many times have we said that tonight? A mistake by the Titans, and the Sea-Eagles have it in good field position to begin this set of 6. Here they are taking it into Titans territory, and they'll do so through the Wolfman, who's come a long way from his right-hand side position. Watno stepping in traffic, getting away from Scotty Prince. There's no way back in this game for the Titans, but can they make it back in time to be a factor next week at home in week 1 of the finals? I know you can turn form around pretty quickly in the NRL with what we've seen in recent times, but boy, this is an awful finals eve performance, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's dreadful. On the other hand, it's exactly what Manly wanted. Their form over the last 6 weeks hasn't been great. They needed something like this to come into the semi-finals if they're going to defend the title. The injury to Matt Rogers, I think, was of a great concern. A twinge, but hamstrings are very dodgy. No Matt Rogers, who's been great for the Titans in recent weeks. The little men have been taken out of the game by Manly's defence.
And Matthew White is back out there. Good charge by him, but they needed plenty of that at the beginning of the game. Not here after 50 minutes of it, trailing by 28. Good ball by O'Dwyer. Got it back for Nathan Friend, who will play it 15 metres out. They'll get a penalty, though.
You come back in. Hang on.
For the moment, we will have timeouts because there is a Titan on the ground back behind the play. It may well be O'Dwyer who got the ball away.
Yeah, it is
a lead
O'Dwyer.
up to that play, and he doesn't look well.
That was an offload to O'Dwyer, who himself got the ball away. We just spoke about the injuries. Matt Rogers, ice on a hamstring. Here's O'Dwyer. Pokes his body through, offloads to Friend. Fell awkwardly.
Oh boy, his left knee taking the weight of one of the Seagulls defenders there. That looked to be a very awkward one, as you said. Well, this is turning out to be an absolute nightmare visit. Here it is again. You watch his left knee here on his right ankle as well. Oh boy, he might have hurt a couple of things right there.
Yeah, I've got to wait.
His right ankle roll and his left knee buckling under the weight.
He's got all the pressure relieved on the left knee. So that looks like it's the problem. And Luke O'Dwyer goes straight up to the tunnel. Quick tap by the Titans.
We'll have it about 5 metres out where White will play it. Friend goes to Scotty Prince. Short ball, a good ball as well. But what about the defence of Watmo? Combining there with Matty Orford. And sent Josh Graham cartwheeling through the air. White's come out with plenty of energy in this second stint. He plays it for Friend. He goes out the back for Prince. Cut out ball for Tagatese, but there are numbers there for Manly. Prince wrapping around the back, getting it to Kevin Gordon. They're too good tonight by some stretch. Right across the park defensively and offensively, and Stewart was there amongst others to shut the play down.
Kieran Foran again. He's been impressive in defence. Here's the tackle. Orford low. Just gets enough of his legs or his ankles, and Watmo over the top. Crunching Minicello. Then it's up in their faces. Good ball by Tagatese here out to Scotty Prince. Quick offload to Gordon. But Kieran Foran there to wrap him up. Brett Stewart over the top with his brother Glenn in support. Too many of them out there tonight. There's too many maroon jumpers for the Titans.
We were talking in the first half about Kieran Foran, of course, with Jamie Lyon due back at some stage. How much football Kieran Foran would see in the weeks ahead. He isn't in their own end, but Kieran Foran, of course, a very big chance to. He could well, the form he's in, go away with the Kiwis in the Four Nations tour to the UK.
Look, and I think Desi would be ultra confident in using Kieran Foran through the semi-finals. Defensively, I think we can see he's up to it. He can hit a hole. He showed that last week. He's clever with the ball. Well, we said a few weeks ago he could be the missing link for the Seagulls in their attempts to defend this title. And that was a night where the Manly team played the Roosters. Desi still used Jamie Lyon at second receiver or at 5'8", more than Kieran Foran, who was pushed out. But now the injury to Jamie Lyon has opened the door for Foran. Whether he stays there when Lyon returns, I don't know.
Here's Preston Campbell. The Gold Coast in possession inside the 20s. They come at them once again.
Steve, you're not there, mate.
Another penalty here.
Steve
Plenty of them either side of half-time without being able to trouble the scorer so far. Friend will tap it. Expecting to trail by 28. And they'll take it forward through LaFranchi on play number 1. Friend giving it to Henderson. Brett Stewart was up there in the front line. So was Jared Warrior-Hargraves, getting a chance again tonight in this final home and away game of the season. Just his 5th game in the NRL. And he's a sizable lad. He might play a part in this finals campaign, of course. There are a few injuries, remembering Jason King out for the moment. Here's LaFranchi. He'll play it about 8 metres out. Nothing going for the Titans in attack so far in this game. Here's Henderson showing it to Friend. Now they've got something going. He got across the line, but Josh Perry, with some help, was able to spin him onto his back.
5.
And there was no chance, Henderson, of getting the ball down.
One tackle left.
They'll play it 10 metres out. Time back on. Prince will chip it towards the corner. Katagateezy and Gordon out there. Williams couldn't come down with it. It was knocked on by the Gold Coast. Knocked on in goals. And it will come back out to the 20 for the restart. The Wolfmen under a bit of pressure there, but they got away with it.
Yeah, desperate defence by Manly. Josh Perry involved in holding up. Henderson, who backed his way, almost backed his way into a try. Stewart, good metres from him.
They've shown a fondness on some restarts so far tonight with a quick spread, a long ball to get it to the edges and put them under pressure. The ball comes loose from Lestrange. And it's Matt White who'll be penalised for knocking it away from him. After starting the game with good runner penalties themselves, Manly, the Titans had the next 6 in a row. That penalty for Manly right there breaks the streak of 6 consecutive ones for the Titans. Might help Manly come down and push this beyond the 30-point mark. They'll play it to Lestrange. He goes to Perry. He gives it off for Waria Hargraves. Headed to the Roosters in 2010. Good signing. Junction Base Club. Look it off. It's spinning and beating defender after defender. What a run by the Ox. 32 points to 0. And the captain, who during the week spoke about how much ticker his team had shown after a disastrous beginning to their title defence before a ball had been kicked in anger, in fact, how much they had shown to get themselves back within a chance before, of course, kick-off of a place in the top 4. They will finish outside the top 4, but it's been a big effort to finish up in 5th place given everything that happened. Plenty of it self-inflicted, of course, but here they are. They will play the team they played in the last 2 grand finals in week 1 of the finals next week.
Well, it was that sort of form that won Matt Orford the Dally M medal last year. Off the left foot, straight and beat both back rowers, LaFranchi and Minicello. Between them, he's such a hard man to get onto the ground. So strong, Matty Orford, when he decides to take the line on. Built low, makes him hard to get down. Great balance, spinning out of tackles. And coming from outside the top 4, they'll need all this sort of form if they're going to get the job done again.
They should have no trouble here, adding the extra 2. A bit of blood flowing from a nick to the right in or thereabouts. It is 34 points to 0. This is 5 versus 3 as they will finish up. There is Matty Orford getting a bit of attention. It will guarantee a big crowd down there in Melbourne next week, with the Storm taking on the Seagulls and all the history between these two sides. Really a tremendous atmosphere there at Etihad Stadium, won't it?
What a game. What a game to start the semi-final series.
Here's Waria Hargraves. Again, a little shift just to change the point of the attack on the return. Brought it back beyond the 20. Now Perry. He'll play it back towards the 40-metre line on just play number 2. Lestrange going to the short side. Watmo shrinking away from the tackle there of Scotty Prince. Friend hanging on. Going for a ride, in fact, as it turned out. Now Orford. They're doing Stewart. Charging at them all he had 4 and back on the inside, but he linked up with him 4 and was away. Farrell scampering for some metres himself out of dummy half. He'll play it just outside the 30 here on the last. This off the kickoff. Orford takes it to the line before he puts the kick up. It'll come down for Preston Campbell, who did very, very well.
What about his awareness? He knew exactly where he was. He thought, I'm going to put those feet in the in-goal area and I'm not going to move them until the ball comes to me.
And as it turned out, with his feet planted back there in the red paint, he had to lean forward a long way. Still made a terrific catch.
That's great play.
The Titans have Ashley Harrison back on deck. That's a good sign, of course, with Rogers done for the night with a hamstring strain of some severity. As Campbell goes to the right-hand side, Luco Dwyer would look to be a nasty knee injury indeed. But Harrison is back. Take it across the halfway line through Josh Gray. We'll play it here about 45 metres out from the Manly line. Prince kicks away from Brett Stewart. Williams coming back to watch it go dead. They've done that plenty of times also, the Titans, haven't they? Their kicking game has been in stark contrast to that served up by Manly for the most part.
Yeah, they've got it wrong. The limited time that they have had the ball at the right end of the field, they've taken all the pressure off by putting the ball dead. Glenn Stewart has been a handful all night for this Titans defence.
Williams for a moment there saw a gap. And he was looking at the try line at the other end, the Fulton Menzies stand end of the field. Maria Hargraves loses the handle on this one. Picked up by Luke Bailey. He's had a fair stretch back on the bench. Midway through the second half, he returns to the field here. They work it forward through Mark Minicello.
Did struggle with the virus for most of the week, Luke Bailey.
Given the scoreline, looked like a blowout even in the middle stages of the first half. There was no point putting the ball through the ringer tonight. There he is, picking up a loose ball, giving it off to Prince. Oh, might have been collared there by Foran. In fact, he was. Just a slapping one across the chin, perhaps. Scotty Prince. There's no damage to the number 7. He bounced back to his feet like a jack-in-the-box.
A little step there, dropped about 6 inches as he stepped towards the high shot.
Minicello it is who takes it forward for the Gold Coast. A quarter of the game remaining. Goes to Prince. He gives it off to Bailey. Grabbed there by Kite and also Lestrange. They have not made a line break in the game to this point, the Gold Coast. Prince gives it to Campbell, who shows it. Tries to get to the outside there of Walford. Manly's defence has been energetic. There's been plenty of line speed about it as well. They have made it very tough. And there's Titans attackers tonight.
Well, they haven't stopped hitting either. They are still nailing the Gold Coast when they run the ball into the line.
Friend giving it to Prince, who grubbers a chance here for Harrison. Oh, Williams with an awful bounce. And in the end, and to lunge desperately to knock it away from Kevin Gordon.
Well, I don't know why he left it for so long, because it was never going dead, this ball. It was travelling across the in-goal area. Whether the bounce beat him there, but I thought he had an opportunity to pick the ball up and try and get out into the field of play. I don't think that's never going dead. Well, the bounce did go away from the left and it deceived him a bit. In the end, did a good job to knock it dead.
Not a million miles away from a play we saw in the early going of Origin 3. Suncorp Stadium with the Wolfman. Left one to bounce a little bit too many times. Hurt the Blues early on in that game, but of course they came back to win what was a torrid affair. Now Friend. Full of Frankie. Taking it to the line. To be stopped about 12 away. Playing for Friend again. Here's Campbell. Hitting the first receiver. Prince on his outside. With no Matt Rogers, of course, on the field. Good read by Farah. He got up and shut him down in double quick time. Campbell gives it off for Harrison. He'll play it 10 metres away still. Prince to the line again. Cut out ball, Kevin Gordon in a tough situation. Not for the first time tonight. The ball behind him and skidding along the ground. Gave him no chance, and it stays at 34 points to nil. Those Titans fans, there's a few of them up there on the hill here at Brookie, and a long old night for them, isn't it? Let's get down to Scotty, who's got more word, I think, Scott, from the Titans dugout.
Yeah, the medical staff working overtime. Some bad news for Luco Dwyer, who fought his way back this season from a serious ankle injury last year. He's been diagnosed at this stage with an ACL anterior cruciate in the knee, so his season's definitely over and he's in for a long rehabilitation over the off-season.
Well, it was a terrible-looking tackle, wasn't it? But that is such a shame for Luco Dwyer. An anterior cruciate ligament tear. And his season is done.
again involved. That's his second touch this set. You just can't keep him out of the game, Anthony Watmore, and that has been the key to his good form.
Here comes the ball back towards him. Foreign hit, making a mistake for perhaps the first time in the game, coughing one up. It'll be the Gold Coast Titans who get the scrum freed about 10 on their own side of halfway.
Scrum in here, mate. Good on you, mate. Thank you. Titans feed.
16 minutes remaining. And they're yet to complete their 20th set in the game, the Gold Coast. 18 of 31. I guess their handling has been a little bit better in this second half, but not by a whole lot. Only at the moment completing 75% of their possessions, 27 of 36 with 64 minutes gone. Much more what Des Hasler would be expecting from his side if they're to be a factor in this competition. Brett Stewart, so far so good. Another game under his belt. Try, of course. And the ball stripped out here by Ben Farrar. It'll be play on. Oh, they give them the penalty. And Preston, everybody had stopped.
Play on because the tackle was complete.
There you go.
That's why we can't play on. Tackle's complete.
It was a matter of whether it was going to be lost by Harrison, that it was stripped. Well, I guess he was thereabouts, around about the ground when the ball. Here's Campbell trying to fend away from Anthony Watmore's attempted tackle. Wasn't able to do so. Lost the ball, in fact. Missed by the touch judge. As he scanned to the turf, the ball came away from his hands momentarily. Now Prince gives it back to LaFranchi. Grabbed there by Maddai. Flips it out the back for Preston. He looks to link up with Minicello, but a grubbering for himself. But it was read by Georgie Rose, who winds up. Look at big Georgie Rose. Talk about a cult figure here at Brookvale Oval.
Strip, mate, deliberate strip. There you go.
A deliberate strip will have Matt White going to the bin for 10 minutes. They'll be down to 12 for just about the remainder of the game.
Here's the pick up, Georgie Rose. Well, it was an awkward one. He slipped. He looked like he might have done himself a little bit of damage there. Almost a split. Burst between two defenders. Keeps them going. Oh, I don't know if there was much of a strip there. I don't know why he's gone to the bin. Or has he gone to the bin?
I have no idea.
A deliberate strip. We've seen two Manly players do it twice tonight. He's penalised me. He didn't send him to the bin.
Wasn't exactly a scoring opportunity, was it?
It wasn't even a strip.
Here's Tyrina Hargraves. I knew we'd get you excited at some stage. Here's Manly going to the left-hand side. Orford out the back for Stewart. Back on the inside for Matai. Picked up there in a good tackle by Graham with some help from LaFranchi. 5 metres away. It comes to Foran. They've got them stretched. Foran a dummy. He gives it to Farrar. He gives it on. A double for the Wolfman. Come on, give me a howl, Brandy. The full moon is out. They're howling on the hill. They've made it 38 points to 0. 2 tries for that man in the middle of your screen. And what a way to go into the finals after what was a pretty ordinary effort last week, albeit a winning one against the Sharks. There is the full moon. Let's take a look at the strip again.
Well, let's not worry about the strip. Here it comes. Look, George Rose, 20-metre run. Georgie, well, he's bet. Right, he's gone to the sin bin for that. Anyway, it's late in the game and it doesn't matter, but it might matter next week. Matt Orford out the back. Kieran Foran, terrific work, throws the dummy. Tagatese caught up and in no man's land, and then it was a good ball by Farrar, just draw, catch and pass. Foran. He's had a good game, Ben Farah. Just supplies an easy one to the Wolfman. Howler's never been my strong suit. I'll leave that for you.
Well, I reckon that fellow, I think it's a fellow, would have given it a few howls here tonight. 25 tries in 37 games. It's a fair hit rate. The 6th double of his career. Steve Maddie it is. Taking the kicking duties over from Matt Orford. I'm up against the sideline. Matty Orford a couple of these in the first half. Out to the right, Steve Maddie away to the left-hand side.
That's something they might want to fix too, because they haven't looked like kicking one from the sideline tonight. Matt Orford's, I don't think Matt Orford's 2 or 3 attempts even got to the post. Steve Maddie looks like he hasn't had a kick for a while. Looked a bit rusty there.
They do have Jamie Lyon, of course, to call on. And he gets back on deck at some stage. Of course, finishing in 5th position. There's no guarantee, especially in this premiership, of survival beyond week 1. So there'll be all hands on deck if they're at all possibly fit for the clash next week against the Melbourne Storm. We have the top 5 for the finals. We're just still waiting to sort out 6, 7 and 8 at the moment. Well, the Broncos will be there. We know Manly and the Eels will be there, of course. Is it the Knights or your Panthers who join those other 7
He's got to make 10 metres.
in the finals next week?
He's got to make 10
Are you confident
metres.
about that tomorrow?
Go
Super
change this here, mate.
Good to hear. I'd be worried if you weren't.
Here, mate. Here. Scrum
Another
here.
ball to ground here. Is this
Over here. Over here.
one, I guess, grinds towards full time, especially for you Gold Coast Titans fan? Boy,
Back here, Luke.
what a tough old night, a week out from the first ever appearance in the finals. It's going to be a final, and that and a man
against the Broncos if they can. Raiders tomorrow night up there at Suncorp.
as the Titans come at them, working it up towards the 20. But boy, we've seen plenty of this tonight, haven't we? Gold Coast forwards being knocked backwards in tackles. This time it was Rose and Maria Hargraves doing the damage on Minicello. Campbell gives it off to Scotty Prince. He goes wide to David Mead. The wingers haven't had too many chances tonight for the Titans to show what they can do. Prince throws it back underneath for Will Matthews.
No, there's been no platform whatsoever for the little men, the quick men, for the Gold Coast to work on the back of.
Still looking for a line break. Scotty Prince, a little tip on there for Sam Tagatese. Good tackle, though, by Glenn Stewart. Diving out to his right-hand side. He reeled him in one motion. Now Friend, giving it to Prince. Chips off the outside of the boot. A touch by a Titan who was flashing through the frame. Picked up by Matai Williams, coming away again. The 2nd time in a row, big meters for Manly from their own end on a change of possession. Williams slumping back to his haunches there. And Glenn Stewart back behind the play. Still where he made that tackle. We'll wait and see how he is when he gets back to his feet. We've still got 6 minutes to play here, and Desi Hasler will have his fingers crossed that none of his stars are injured in these final few moments. Here is Anthony Watmo coming back to the middle of the field to give it to Wairia Hargraves. Strange still doing the honours at dummy half for Matty Ballon. Here's Orford. Give it away to Foran. He runs towards Tagatese. Just inside the Titans 40. Farrell goes back to Orford. Just chip it towards the corner. Not much doing there on the kick. Pretty much a change of possession kick, if you like. Gordon went to ground. Look out if he gets past everybody, because no one will run him down from behind. Good run. Prince now, as they go to the right-hand side. Goes across towards David Mead, who was met a solid tackle there by Steve Maddai. Down to Scotty Sattler. Bit of a worry there with Glenn Stewart. Scotty, but he's back in the line there making a tackle. He must be okay.
Yeah, I think Desi Haslam might have been watching that really closely. And just want to mention it's great scoring 38, 40 points in any game. But I think you get more of a buzz out of defending your line. The way that the desperation they've shown in their defence, the Manly Sea Eagles, it's a defence that won them a premiership last year. And what no better time coming into that game next week against the Melbourne Storm.
Here's Friends giving it to Harrison. We'll go back inside the Manly 20. Campbell, that first receiver on this right-hand side. Prince will grub her in behind them. One of their best kicks of the night, as it turns out. Robertson under pressure, gave it to Williams. There's no way back for even the Wolfman here tonight. Full mood and all, and they'll drop it out for just the second time.
Yeah, one they got into the in goal and actually chased. Good chase up the centre. They tried their hardest, Manly, Robertson and Williams combining in the in-goal area. That was a worry. Glenn Stewart down for some time, but did make his way back into the game.
And Desi Hasler, I mentioned Glenn Stewart, will take no chances with his lot forward. He has come from the field for the Sea Eagles. The Titans bring it back. Here is Bailey. Just outside the 20. Play it to Fred. He is giving it to Luke Bailey. Nothing happening there. Bailey was just moving forward as a decoy, if anything, putting his hand up for a support run. With the ball, as it turned out. Harrison now taking it towards Farah. There is Stewart. He gets a big hand, as you'd expect. One of the real stars at Brookvale these days. Good ball from Scotty Prince for Kevin Gordon. But the ball,
it'll be good.
Well, I thought it was going to be called forward for a moment there. But they said it was okay. It looked okay. And finally, the Gold Coast Titans have cracked them.
Yeah, just under 3 minutes to go. Scotty Prince threatened to do this a couple of sets back. Going at the line, squaring everyone up. And the Wolfman caught up and in. Gordon holds the touchline and makes sure of it. They've just had no room to move tonight around the ruck. Therefore, the blokes on the outside have received very little good ball.
Scotty Prince from up against the sideline, who kicked 6 from 7 in that important win last week for the Titans, which gave them, as it turned out at one stage, a shot, of course, at the minor premiership. Doesn't that seem a long, long time ago now for the Gold Coast? 38 points to 4 it stays. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Never mind, champ. As always, next week, as they say. Will need to be as well off the back of this effort. Well, of course, looking into the future, now that we know the top 5, should the Newcastle Knights fit us going on positions on the table. For the results tomorrow win and the Brisbane Broncos win, will be the Seagulls in 5th, the Broncos in 6th, the Knights in 7th, and the Eels in 8th, which would give us Dragons Eels again in week 1. It would make it Bulldogs Knights in week 1. Broncos, of course, would take on the Titans in the 3v6 battle. And we've known since early on in this one it was going to be the Storm up against the Seagulls down there at Etihad next Friday night in 6 days' time.
Home semi-final advantage doesn't mean you're home. The bottom 4 sides, anything could happen in these semi-final series. Rebound off one of the Manly players, Luke Bailey. They've lost 20 metres and the tackle count isn't restarted.
As Prince goes to the right-hand side with the second sticking away goes to Jordan Atkins from David Mead, who will work it down to almost the 40-metre line. That will do it tonight. The Sea Eagles will be in no hurry to play the ball right here. This Brookvale crowd will count down the final few seconds. And Manly, after all their troubles and travails throughout the season, have finished just outside the top 4. They've nailed down 5th position going into the finals for 2009. They've beaten the Titans 38 points to 4 here tonight.
Yeah, possession did swing around in that second half. It was a lot.